Hi friends, welcome to the webinar on derivatives. We'll just wait a couple of minutes. Quite a few of our friends are still joining in. So we'll just wait a few minutes and we'll be starting the session in the next couple of minutes. Thank you. Yeah, so I think we should start this session. थैंक यू टू ऑल आवर फ्रेंड्स हु हैव जॉइंड टुडेज सेशन। तो आज का सेशन एक काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक के ऊपर है और मैंने जो एग्जांपल्स लिए वो सारे आज के ही ट्रेडिंग सेशन के हैं। सो विल डिस्कस अबाउट द की डेरिवेटिव इंडिकेटर्स in trade today, the important ones that anyone who's trading in the derivative segment should track and follow. So I'll keep the session a mix of both English and Hindi. और सेशन के एंड में we'll be having a Q&A session. So any of our friends who want to ask any questions regarding the session, please feel free to ask your questions. So starting. So in today's session, आज के सेशन में हम ये तीन मेन टॉपिक्स के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. ऑप्शन चेन एनालिसिस, दैट इज हाउ प्राइस एक्शन के साथ साथ OI बिल्टअप को ट्रैक करना इंपॉर्टेंट है. And when there is short covering in the market, how it becomes beneficial for a trader. अगर वो ट्रैक कर रहा है OI डेटा और प्राइस एक्शन को साथ ही साथ ट्रैक कर रहा है, when the trading opportunities come, if there is a squeeze in the market, तो कैसे हम लोग ये OI डेटा को यूज कर सकते हैं. उसके साथ साथ PCR के डेटा के बारे में भी डिस्कस करेंगे, दैट इज द पुट कॉल रेशियो. तो कौन से स्ट्राइक पे ज़्यादा पुट ओपन इंटरेस्ट के बारे में है या कॉल ओपन इंटरेस्ट बिल्टअप है. विल बी डिस्कसिंग रिगार्डिंग दैट एंड विल बी ब्रीफली डिस्कसिंग रिगार्डिंग दी ऑप्शन ग्रीक्स. तो कोई भी स्ट्राइक प्राइस जब भी आप सिलेक्ट कर रहे हो डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग में, तो आपको बेयर मिनिमम ग्रीक्स के बारे में जानना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आपने अगर कोई भी स्ट्राइक प्राइस लिया है, उसका प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस कितना है. अगर इंडेक्स 100 पॉइंट से आपके फेवर में आता है तो आपको मालूम तो रहना चाहिए आपके ऑप्शन स्ट्राइक प्राइस में कितना पॉइंट्स आने का चांस है. These are the brief things that we'll be discussing in today's trading session. तो पहले कोई भी अगर जो ट्रेडर रहता है, दी फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट व्यू जो उनका बनता है, दैट इज बेसिकली बाय लुकिंग एट दी चार्ट्स. तो चार्ट्स देख के ही सबका व्यू बनता है, बिकॉज प्राइस एक्शन इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इंडिकेटर फॉर एनीवन हु इज ट्रेडिंग इन द मार्केट्स. तो जनरली फर्स्ट प्लेस वेयर वी वुड, if we are a short term trader, अगर हम एक scalper है या एक swing trader है, the first place where we would be looking is on the charts. तो charts देख के हम लोग एक short term trend का view बनाते हैं. Then we confirm the view of us with based on derivative data. तो हम derivative data is made use of a supplement. See, it is very difficult to just make use or have full confidence only on the data, because data keeps on changing. ये एक dynamic चीज है. It's not a static thing. मतलब during the day the data will be changing multiple times, and it is the price action which gives the view and you confirm it with the derivative data. We'll be discussing regarding that in today's session. So how you can make use of the derivative data whenever you are trading in the option segment. And the third step for the trader is selecting the strategy. तो एक बार अगर व्यू बना लिया कि मार्केट अभी तेजी की तरफ है या मंदी की तरफ है, तो उसके बाद क्या करना चाहिए, दैट इज सिलेक्टिंग दी कौन से स्ट्रैटेजी को सिलेक्ट करना चाहिए, कौन से स्ट्रैटेजी में मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट होने का चांस है. दैट इज दी थर्ड स्टेप ऑफ द प्रोसेस. So in today's session we'll be discussing regarding the second step, that is how we make use of the derivative data to confirm the price action. We have already had multiple sessions on selecting the right option strategies based on the price action. And going forward, also, we'll be having many sessions on option strategies. But today's session is more focused towards the derivative data. So I have taken a lot of examples from today's session itself. Today's session was a very volatile trading session. We had multiple opportunities during the day, both on the call side as well as on the put side. So anyone who has been tracking today's price action would know how volatile and choppy the markets were today. So if the basic understanding is, if there is call unwinding, it is a bullish signal. If there is put unwinding, it is a bearish indication. The reason for this is, see, you analyze the option change जो रहता है NSE के वेबसाइट पे या कोई भी आप सॉफ्टवेयर जो यूज कर रहे हैं, you have to analyze the OI data from a seller's perspective. Now it has to be done. The reason for this is, for doing option selling, the amount or the price that you have to pay is significantly higher in comparison to buying an option. So generally it is believed that the institutions or slightly larger parties tend to do option writing, and since they have a lot of capital which is involved, they tend to have better information on the market. That is what is believed. But we make use of this particular data, and then we can still do option buying. It's not that just because the OI chain is analyzed from a seller's perspective, we also have to do option selling. We make use of this particular data and see how the OI data is building up along with the price action. So in today's trade, we had both the events, that is call unwinding also and put unwinding also. The first half of the market saw call unwinding. So I'll take all the things, all the concepts, I'll explain with the example. So the concepts will be much clear. So this is the first example. So in the first half of the day, that is post around 10:15, there was a rebound which was seen in the market. तो अगर पहला फर्स्ट हाफ अगर देखा जाए, दैट इज फ्रॉम 9:15 to about 10:15, मार्केट्स में सेलिंग प्रेशर था, wherein the index was witnessing selling, and we witnessed a dip on the downside. So at that point of time, when there was selling pressure, जो ट्रेडर्स जो रहते हैं, ऑप्शन ट्रेडर्स जनरली जो सेल करते हैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स को, यू कैन क्लियरली सी द price action of the upper part is the price action of 23,800 call option. You can see on the initial side that there was selling pressure in the first half, and you can see the spurt in OI. The down part of the chart is open interest, and the upper part is the chart price action. So you can clearly see in the first half an hour or 45 minutes of trade, there was call writing, massive call writing, which was seen in 23,800 strike. The reason for this is traders expected that the selling pressure which was there in the market would continue through the day, and that is why they sold the 23,800 call option, expecting the markets to remain below that particular level. Then we saw gradually post 10:30, 10:45 a recovery in the market, wherein the index rebounded gradually. There was almost a 200 point recovery. अगर आप डे के लो से फ्रॉम अराउंड 10:15 से अगर आप द हाई पॉइंट ऑफ द डे तक मेजर करोगे, there was almost a 200 point recovery which was seen at that point of time. So the traders who had built short positions in 23,800 call option, there was a bit of panic which was seen, and they had to close out their positions. So that is why you can see in the bottom half of the chart, there was unwinding or short covering which is generally seen in the call option. तो इसी के कारण when the price action was moving up, there was short covering which was seen in 23,800 call option. So the OI built up moves with the price action itself. So this was a very clear indication कि short covering हो रहा है markets में, and it happened almost till about 11:30, 11:45. There was short covering which was seen in the market. तो जिन्होंने भी short positions build up किए थे 23,800, 24,000 call options में, there was a bit of panic which was seen, and there was unwinding of positions, and that gave additional momentum to the markets as well. But post that, that is in the second half of the session, वापस जो ओरिजिनल ट्रेंड है निफ्टी का, there was selling pressure once again which came about in the market, and there was a sharp dip which was seen. Nifty witnessed a correction of more than 250-300 points from the high point of the day once again. That resulted in traders who had built short positions on the put side. So first half we saw traders who were trapped on the long side, and then in the second part we saw the traders who had sold the put options expecting the markets to remain at the higher levels. They got trapped. You can clearly see that the second chart is of 23,800 put option. Price action started increasing, that is there was selling pressure in the market, and at that point of time traders who had sold 23,800 put option, they had to close out their positions. Matlab, there was selling pressure, the intensity of the selling pressure was so much that the prices dipped below the strike price of 23,800 all the way towards 23,650 levels on the downside. तो जिन्होंने भी पुट ऑप्शन शॉर्ट किए थे उनको भी अपना पोजीशन आज स्क्वायर ऑफ करना पड़ा, एंड द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ द सेल ऑफ वाज मच मोर ऑन द सेलिंग साइड. So clearly you can make use of this type of derivative data wherein you track the OI of the particular strike price that you are trading in. Whenever there is a squeeze in the market, whenever there is sharp move, see every day this does not happen, because if you see the price action of the previous 4 trading days, Nifty was in a very range bound type of manner. But when there is sharp movement in the market on either direction, that is the time when there is substantial squeeze that we call, either on the long side or the short side. And those are the days when you can make good use of derivative data. When there is a sideways consolidation or a choppy trading environment, it does not come that handy. But whenever there is sharp movement in the market, derivative data acts as a very useful tool. So how to build your view on the market? See, if there is a flat opening in the market and there is aggressive put writing, that means that traders are expecting that the trend could remain on the positive side. That is a gradual move on the upside could be seen through the day. While if there is a flat opening and there is aggressive call writing, that means that traders are expecting that there could come selling pressure could come in the market at any point of time. If there is a gap up opening and उसके बाद भी aggressive put writing है, that means traders are expecting कि gap up होने के बावजूद भी the uptrend could continue on the upside. So that is why if there is a gap up opening and at the money strike price is the best strike price to track it. अगर at the money strike prices में put writing देखा जा रहा है, aggressive put writing देखा जा रहा है, that means that traders are expecting the momentum to continue on the upside. Likewise, if there is a gap down opening and there is aggressive call writing, that means traders are expecting that even though there has been a gap down opening, the trend is expected to continue on the downside. So this is how you can make use of the derivative data. कोई भी strike price जो आप track कर रहे हो, उसका OI का trend क्या है, along with the price action. See, price action, once again I'm telling you, is the most important thing. Along with that, if you track the derivative data, it gives an additional confidence while placing your trade in the market. सी ये जो ऑप्शन चेंज जो है मैंने सुबह भी एक बार निकाला था जब भी मार्केट लगभग 50 पॉइंट डाउन था निफ्टी का. तो तभी अगर आप देखोगे दोनों साइड पे 23,800 के कॉल ऑप्शन में भी ओआई काफी बड़ा था और 23,800 के पुट में भी ओआई जो बिल्टअप था वो काफी सिग्निफिकेंट था. बट ग्रेजुअली एज द डे प्रोग्रेस्ड व्हेन द सेलिंग प्रेशर केम अबाउट, 90,000 जो ओआई बिल्टअप था 23,800 के पुट ऑप्शन में वो घट के 60,000 तक आ गया. मींस देयर वाज हेवी शॉर्ट कवरिंग व्हिच वाज सीन in 23,800 put options. Once that particular strike price broke on the downside, traders who had sold the 23,800 put option had to close out their positions and fresh put writing was seen in strike prices on the lower side. या फिर they shifted their view and built fresh positions on the call side. That is 23,800 call also witnessed significant OI as the market witnessed selling pressure. See, you have to cover your positions. You cannot just be numb. मतलब आपको अगर आपके लॉस एक डायरेक्शन में हो रहा है and you know that there is intensive selling pressure, most of the time traders will switch their view. That is very important, to not hold a static view on the market. You should also be dynamic as the trend of the market changes. You should be flexible in changing your views, and that is what many times traders do. If they have got trapped on one side, they shift their view to the other side, and you can see there was intensive call writing which was seen in 23,800 and 24,000 strike prices. So this particular OI is at the start of the trading day, लगभग 11 बजे के आसपास, जब ये निफ्टी लगभग 50 पॉइंट डाउन था. And I have shown the next slide wherein the same option chain at about 2:30 p.m. मतलब आज के ट्रेडिंग डे में लगभग 2:30 को you can clearly see that 23,800 के पुट ऑप्शन में जो OI जो था 90,000 के आसपास, that has come down towards 60,000. and even in the 23,500 strike price, वो स्ट्राइक प्राइस में भी आज OI अनवाइंडिंग देखा जा रहा था. मींस देयर इज अ फियर दैट इन द नेक्स्ट फ्यू ट्रेडिंग डेज देयर कुड बी अ कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ द सेलिंग प्रेशर ऑन द डाउन साइड. ये एक और ग्राफिकल मेथड है. आप क्लियरली देख सकते हैं डे के स्टार्ट में. सी द ब्लू बार्स, जो ब्लू कलर का बार है वो कॉल OI है, और जो पर्पल बार्स है वो पुट का OI है. तो आप डे के स्टार्ट में देख सकते हो 23,800 के स्ट्राइक में देयर वाज हायर पुट राइटिंग देन कॉल राइटिंग. सी इफ यू clearly see on the bottom side 23,800 at the start of the day, there was higher put writing compared to call writing in the 23,800 strike price, and the highest put writing was seen in the 24,000 strike price. But as the day progressed, this is the second chart which was taken at 2:30. तो आप क्लियरली देख सकते हो 23,800 कॉल में पुट से सब लोग निकल के 23,500 के स्ट्राइक प्राइस पे आ रहे थे, बिकॉज दे शिफ्टेड देयर पोजीशंस ऑन द डाउन साइड. So 23,500 had the highest open interest at 2:30, and on the call side there was a significant surge in call writing in 23,800 strike price. 23,400, all those strike prices already had a spurt, बट जो स्ट्राइक प्राइस सबसे नजदीक था उसमें भी आज एग्रेसिव कॉल राइटिंग देखने को मिल रहा है. दैट इज 23,800. सो यू कैन क्लियरली सी द ब्लू कलर बार्स हैव सरपास द पर्पल कलर बार्स. सो ऑन ऑल द स्ट्राइक प्राइसेस 23,800 एंड अबव, ये सारे स्ट्राइक प्राइसेस में एग्रेसिव कॉल राइटिंग देखने को मिल रहा था. दैट मीन्स traders have a view that the trend of the market can now be slightly on the bearish side. So I hope you can clearly see the blue color bars are the call option bars, that is heavy call writing which was seen in 23,800 and above, and the purple color bars are the put option bars. So how to interpret it? See, the maximum call open interest जो रहता है that acts as the resistance zone. तो करंट अगर आप रेजिस्टेंस जोन देखोगे, that is 23,800 23,850 levels. That is where markets are expected to face resistance. See, you have to add the average premium. जो strike price है उसको आपको average premium भी जोड़ना पड़ेगा of what the option might have been written at. So if you take the average price for that particular day, so you have to add almost about, on most days it is about 60 to 100 points from that particular strike price. And when that particular level breaks, that is when the actual selling comes. So today also, if you take 23,800 put option and you minus it for call options, you have to add the premium. That becomes the resistance. For support, you have to take the strike price minus the average premium for that particular strike price, and that is where you get the actual support for the market. So when that particular level is also broken on the downside, that is when the actual selling comes about. It is not just that particular strike price breaks and then we witness selling. On most occasions, it is when the average premium for that particular strike price, when we dip below that, that is when the actual selling comes in the market. And today, clearly, when we witnessed a breakdown below 23,750, 740 levels, that is when the actual panic came about in the 23,800 call, in the 23,800 put option. So the strike price at which maximum call writing takes place, that is where we see a short-term resistance. The strike price at which maximum put writing takes place, that is where we have the support for the market. So that is the maximum ones. On an intraday basis also we could see key strike prices witnessing OI addition that acts as the intraday support and the intraday resistance on the daily chart. So this is a previous example why tracking derivative data is important. This is an example of 22nd November. I have for today also. इसके बाद I'll be explaining in today's option chain what happened. But first let's discuss regarding 22nd November. So if you see the actual trend, I'll show you the trend of the market also. So it is important to know why there was call writing which had happened. There was massive call writing which was seen because the original trend of the market was on the downside. So everyone's view was bearish on the market, and that is why there was heavy call writing which was seen in 23,600, 23,500 strike prices. So this is the situation where there is massive call writing in all the major strike prices. So, due to the negative trend of the market, bears had built short positions in all the major strike prices, that is between 23,300 towards 23,500 all the way on the upside. सारे major strike prices में call writing पहले से ही build up हो चुका था because the original trend of the market was on the negative side. But then आप अगर ये latest जो candlestick देख सकते हो, that is a large green candlestick. That is where a sudden surprise up move came in the market. लगातार 5-6 ट्रेडिंग सेशन जिसमें सेलिंग प्रेशर था मार्केट में, उसके बाद सडनली एक लार्ज कैंडल देखने को मिला जिसमें ऑलमोस्ट एक 500 से 600 पॉइंट की रैली हो चुकी, मतलब निफ्टी में एक 500 से 600 पॉइंट की रैली आ गई मार्केट में, एंड दैट इज वेयर द एक्चुअल पैनिक केम अबाउट. So traders who had built short positions in 23,600 towards 23,800 levels, वो सारे जन को अपने शॉर्ट पोजीशंस कवर करने पड़े थे, and that results in additional panic in the market. When there is a sharp move in the market, there is what is known as a squeeze. जो ऑप्शन प्रीमियम्स एकदम से फट करके means we witness an extremely sharp movement on the upside, and that is what was witnessed on 22nd November when the index rallied almost 500 to 600 points on the upside. So tracking the original trend of the market, having an idea of where there are major short positions built up and what happens when the index surpasses those levels, these are important things to keep at the back of your mind. See, price action is the most important thing, like I've highlighted, but if you keep an idea of where derivative data is actually built up and where traders can get caught on the wrong side, and if you make use of this particular data, then it comes extremely handy in your day-to-day activity, trading activities. So this is the current chart of Nifty. अगर आप देख सकते हो, there has been a slight breakdown on the daily chart. It's still not witnessed a breakdown below 23,530 जो लास्ट फ्राइडे का लो है, that is 23,530 स्पॉट के चार्ट्स पे. So anytime we witness a breakdown below 23,530, 23,470 levels, we could see heavy selling pressure come about in the market once again. The chart structure definitely has become a bit bearish on the downside. In trade today also, post 4 days of sideways consolidation, we have witnessed a correction on the downside. The index, that is Nifty, currently अपने 200-day average के नीचे trade हो रहा है. So for 4 consecutive trading sessions, the index was holding on to its 200 EMA level, and in today's trade, we have witnessed a breakdown below that particular level as well. So going forward, if there is a continuation on the negative side and Nifty witnesses a correction below 23,530, 23,470 levels, then the intensity of the selling pressure can increase once again. Because आप अगर OI का चार्ट देखोगे निफ्टी का, there is a massive put writing in the 23,500 strike as well. And if you minus about 50 points of premium from that, if there is a breakdown below those levels as well, then the intensity of the selling pressure could increase. So ये करंट ऑप्शन चेन है आज के ट्रेडिंग सेशन का. मैंने लगभग 230 को निकाला था ये ऑप्शन चेन का हुआ है डेटा. तो आप क्लियरली देख सकते हो 23,800 के पुट ऑप्शन में अनवाइंडिंग है और 23,500 के स्ट्राइक पे भी अभी प्रेजेंटली अनवाइंडिंग देखा जा रहा है, बट स्टिल देयर इज डिसेंट अमाउंट ऑफ बिल्डअप. If the intensity of the selling pressure continues tomorrow as well, then we could see further unwinding in this particular strike price. Likewise, if you see on the call side, which is the left hand side of this particular chart, you will see addition in all the major strike prices, that is 23,800, 23,900, 24,000 strike price. All these strike prices have witnessed decent amount of call writing. Now, I hope everyone has understood the concept of tracking the OI data and why it is important to track the OI data. Now, moving forward towards the next concept of PCR. So, PCR is an addition to the existing concept of OI itself. तो ओपन इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर ही ये बिल्टअप होता है, दैट इज द पीसीआर, दैट इज पुट कॉल रेशियो. तो put call ratio is nothing but for a particular strike price या for the entire option chain, what is the total amount of put. So we'll take it first for a particular individual strike price, and then I'll explain it how traders use it, making use of 4-5 strike prices as well from the current market price. So what you can do is, so currently Nifty is closer towards 23,650, 23,700 levels. So traders basically find the PCR for that particular strike price. उस particular strike price में ज्यादा put writing देखा जा रहा है या ज्यादा call writing देखा जा रहा है. That is what is basically being calculated. So it is nothing but a ratio of the put OI divided by the call OI. If the figure is above 1, अगर एक के ऊपर है ये particular figure, it indicates that there is more put writing in the system in comparison to call writing. That's why the particular figure stands above 1. Likewise, if the figure is below 1, that is closer towards 0.6, 0.5, it means that the call OI, call का जो writing है वो system में is much larger than the put writing, and that's why we have a figure less than 1. So I hope everyone has understood the basic concept of the put call ratio. It's nothing but a ratio of the open interest for a particular strike price, or you can calculate it for the entire option chain also. You calculate कि निफ्टी का current जो 2 Jan का expiry है वो पूरा हुआ, you get it at the bottom of the chart itself. You will get निफ्टी का, अगर आप option chain खोलोगे NSE website पे, at the bottom of the chart, at the bottom of the open interest chart, you will see the total OI of put and you will see the total OI of call options. Nothing you have to do. You just have to divide put open interest divided by the call open interest. This is one method. The second is for a particular strike price. What some traders do is, instead of doing for the entire option chain, they take the current strike price plus 2 strike prices above and 2 strike prices minus below. So total for 5 strike prices, they calculate the PCR figure because those are the most liquid strike prices. So they calculate the PCR for those total 5 strike prices. So it is like, suppose Nifty is at 23,650. We'll calculate the PCR figure for 23,650 plus 23,700 plus 23,750 on the upside. You will take these 2 strike prices. On the downside, you will take 23,600 and 23,550 strike prices. So for all these 5 strike prices, we will calculate the PCR. These are the five most liquid strike prices from the market perspective, and then we get a view कि there is more put writing or there is more call writing. Definitely, I feel at the current juncture there will be more call writing in the system, taking into consideration today's price action. Prior to this, it was an equal tussle between the bulls and the bears, क्योंकि 4 दिन का लगातार consolidation देखने को मिल रहा था. So there was no clear trend in the market. But today, post today's closing, definitely I feel in the system there will be more call writing in comparison to put writing. So this is how you calculate the PCR. PCR is nothing but the total OI of put options divided by the total OI of call options. So you can identify the trend also. तो आपको मालूम है currently if it is at 1 and tomorrow it becomes 0.7 or 0.6, you know that there is selling pressure in the market. That's why there is more call writing which has happened, and that is why the PCR which was yesterday at 1 has currently come to 0.6 on the downside. See, in two cases the figure can come down: if the call OI increases or if there is unwinding of the put OI. ये दो रीजन के कारण the figure can come on the downside. Likewise, the figure can go upside as well. That is, from 1 it can move towards 1.2, 1.4 levels on the upside. When that will happen? That will happen when the put open interest increases or the call OI decreases. In these two instances, we'll see that the PCR figure increasing on the upside. It is nothing but basic mathematics. I hope everyone gets the concept clearly. So you have to understand the trend as well. It is not for that particular day itself. It is understanding the trend of the PCR as well. So based on that, you get a good idea of where the markets are going as well. So there are traders who make use of it as a contrarian indicator as well. तो ट्रेडर्स क्या कंसिडर करते हैं, अगर ये ओवरसोल्ड हो गया एंड द पीसीआर फिगर कम्स क्लोजर टुवर्ड्स 0.35, 0.4 on the downside, they expect that the markets could reverse pull back on the upside. That means the markets are extremely oversold and we could witness a pullback on the upside. See, these are not स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मूलाज की अगर 0.45 आ गया और मार्केट रिवर्स हो जाएगा. There is nothing concrete in the market. It is just ranges which have been previously been tested, and on certain occasions we have witnessed a decent pullback when the markets have gone into an oversold zone. Likewise, when the markets get overheated and the PCR rises towards 1.5, 1.6, that means there is excessive bullishness in the market and there is excessive put writing which is seen, and that is why the PCR figure has gone closer towards 1.6. So that is the time also traders expect that there could be a certain correction which would come about in the market. Now moving to the next concept of option Greeks. So we have covered two important concepts. One is analyzing the option chain data and the other is the PCR. Now moving on to the next concept of option Greeks. Sorry. Yeah. So there are 5 main option Greeks that are there in the market. From a trader's perspective, we should know all of them. But the most significant out of all this is delta and theta. ये दो सबसे important option Greeks है. All these 5 option Greeks, that is delta, gamma, theta, vega and rho, these are the main factors that cause about price action in the market. ये इन्हीं के कारण there is movement which is seen in the option prices, and it is very important to understand, if you are an option buyer or an option seller, what are the Greeks for the particular strike price that you have selected. So first, let's discuss about delta. So delta basically tells two things. So first, the most common thing what delta tells you is if there is a 100-point movement, कल अगर निफ्टी में एक 100 पॉइंट का मूवमेंट आ जाता है, so how much is your option price going to move about by? So currently निफ्टी 23,650 के आसपास है. तो अगर आप देख सकते हो ये पर्टिकुलर ग्राफ में 23,650 का जो डेल्टा है, that is approximately 0.54, because it is at the money. मतलब मार्केट 23,650 लेवल्स पे है on the spot levels. Future will be slightly more, about 60 to 80 points higher, because we are just at the start of the series. But in terms of spot price, it is absolutely at the money, that is 23,650 levels. So the delta of 23,650 call option is 0.54. तो कल अगर इंडेक्स 100 पॉइंट से ऊपर चला जाता है, if there is a pullback in the market and we witness a 100-point rally, then the 23,650 call option will increase by about 54 points. See, it is a dynamic thing. ये जो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि डेल्टा पॉइंट 0.54 है, ये कल भी 0.54 नहीं रहेगा. जैसे जैसे मार्केट का लेवल्स चेंज होता है, ये डेल्टा का वैल्यू भी चेंज होगा, बट द बेयर मिनिमम दैट इट विल चेंज बाय इज 0.54. As the option becomes in the money, the delta will also start increasing. That is, from 0.54 it will move towards 0.6, 0.65, on the upside. बट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज आपको पता रहना चाहिए अगर 100 पॉइंट से ऊपर गया तो लगभग कितने से मेरा ऑप्शन प्राइस इंक्रीज होना चाहिए. That is same for put options. Put options have a delta between 0 and -1. Call options का जो delta रहता है that means between 0 and 1. Delta tells another very interesting thing. It tells you the probability of success. So delta can be made use of as a predicting tool as well. सो करंटली जो एक्सपायरी जो है 2 जनवरी का जो एक्सपायरी है, जो वीकली एक्सपायरी है, उसका अगर आप ऑप्शन चेन खोलोगे एंड यू विल टेक दी 24,000 स्ट्राइक प्राइस. करंटली निफ्टी 23,650 के लेवल्स के आसपास है. एंड इफ वी टेक दी 24,000 स्ट्राइक प्राइस, उसका डेल्टा लगभग 0.16 है. So what it basically tells us is that there is 16% chance that Nifty will close about 24,000 at the time of the expiry. So this is how you can make use of delta in terms of predicting the chance of the markets closing above that particular strike price. It's a very useful method, and that is why we always advise all our clients to avoid trading in deep out of the money options, क्योंकि इसका probability of happening, the event happening, is very less. There is just 16% chance that the markets, see now currently with Nifty trading at 23,650, anytime a 400 point movement can come. 400 points movement for Nifty just means about 1.5-2% of movement. It can come about at any point of time. But still, looking at the overall trend, looking at the trajectory of the market, currently based on the price action and looking at the price structure and based on what the delta value currently is, the chance of Nifty closing about 24,000 levels in this particular expiry is about 16%. Tomorrow, if the chart completely reverses, the delta value will also change and the delta can move on the positive side. At that point, your probability of success of the event happening will also definitely change. But as the data stands at the current juncture, the delta of 24,000 call option is 0.16. That is 16% chance. The other important Greek is theta. Theta basically tells the time decay for a particular strike price. Many times traders might have observed that they buy the call option or the put option and the market goes into a sideways consolidation. The view has not gone wrong. आपका view एकदम सही था, लेकिन the index has gone into a sideways consolidation. For 1 hour, 2 hours, the markets remain absolutely range bound. At that point of time, you will observe that your option premium is gradually decreasing. That is the impact of theta on an option price. So the reduction gradually as the time progresses, the reduction in option price is due to a factor known as theta. Theta at the start of the expiry is less, but as the expiry cycle progresses, the rate of option premium decrease, the rate of theta increases. तो अभी अगर आप 23,650 का स्ट्राइक प्राइस में थीटा अगर देखोगे, it currently stands at 23.8. What it basically means is tomorrow, अगर कल के ट्रेडिंग सेशन में निफ्टी absolutely same level पे रहता है, that is at the same level, there is not even a 1 point movement in Nifty, and all the other Greeks also continue to remain at the same, that is there is no change in volatility, there is no major trade changes which happen, then the option price of 23,650 call option and 23,650 put option, both of them will reduce by 23.8 rupees in tomorrow's trading session. So that is for tomorrow. But as we go closer towards expiry, that is Thursday, this particular theta value tends to increase. So it will increase from 23 closer towards levels of 30, 35 as we go towards expiry. So I hope everyone has understood the two most important option Greeks, that is delta and theta. So theta is beneficial for the option writers it is negative for the option buyers. So these are the four main option Greeks. The reason we do not discuss much about rho, that is change in interest rate, is for weekly options that we are currently trading in, there is absolutely negligible impact of interest rate on option prices. These impact the change in interest rate. अगर एक बड़ा change आता है interest rate में, that will have impact on the long dated option prices. The cost of the option prices may go higher, but on your weekly options there is absolutely no change of a 25 basis point or a 50 basis point rate hike or rate cut on the option premium. So it is no point in discussing regarding interest rate as a Greek on the current weekly expiries of Nifty. The most important ones are delta, gamma, theta, and vega. So when the volatility of the market increases ahead of a special event like the budget या फिर monetary policy, you will see the option prices also increase on the upside. That is because of the change in volatility. Another event is if there is a sharp movement in the market which comes about, that is known as gamma acceleration. That is the second order derivative. After delta we have gamma, that is the rate of change of delta. जो मैं डेल्टा कह रहा था कि 0.54 पे है, if there is sharp movements in the market, the delta can also change quickly. That is from 0.54 it can become 0.7, 0.8, and at that time your option prices will move at a very fast speed. तो अगर निफ्टी 100 पॉइंट से ऊपर जाता है and if your delta has rapidly changed from 0.54 towards 0.8, your option premium also will increase. For 1 point of movement of nifty, your option price will increase by 80 paise. So that is very beneficial for you if you buy options and there is a fast change or gamma acceleration that happens whenever there is sharp movements which is there in the market. So that's the basic regarding the option Greeks. So that's an end of today's session from my side. I hope everyone was able to understand the concepts in a simple manner. I tried to explain the concepts as simply as I could regarding all the option Greeks as well as option chain and the PCR. So now we could start with the Q&A session. Any of our friends who have any questions regarding today's session itself, please restrict the questions towards the topic itself. Stock specific, kindly avoid asking questions. So if there are any questions regarding the topic, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you. So there are a lot of suggestions as well. Please do note that whatever suggestions are passed on, I will definitely pass it on to the concerned team. So if there is any suggestion regarding the app or any of the things, do note that I pass it on to the concerned team. So the product team or any of the teams which are there, we definitely pass on all your valuable suggestions to the team, and we will try to definitely make your trading experience as smooth as possible. Thank you so much. So there is a suggestion from Sumit. Sir, do a webinar on how to do intraday trading and swing trading in cash market. Definitely we can take the suggestion, and we will definitely, I will convey it to our team, and soon we'll be having a session on this particular topic if there is a demand. Because a lot of traders currently have shifted towards the cash market segment post the change in the lot sizes and a lot of changes which have come about in the derivative segment. So a lot of focus is definitely there on the cash side, and definitely I will pass on this suggestion, and we will soon have a session on swing trading, because the things to take note of in cash market swing trading are different compared to option trading. And the price action, the things to take note of are different. So definitely we'll have a session on this particular topic as well. Thank you. Yeah, so Atish has a question. Put unwinding is bearish. Definitely, put unwinding is a bearish signal. If you can clearly see, I'll show you in the example as well. So, if you can see, today's example itself. So when the selling pressure came about, so today this is, you can see unwinding which happened post 11:45:12. That's when the unwinding started happening in the 23,800 put option. So intensive selling pressure was there. Market witnessed a breach below the 23,800 strike price, and the put unwinding was clearly seen, which is definitely a bearish signal in the market. So there is a question of how to build swing positions on FNO stocks with the help of option data. So how you can make use of this is you analyze the chart. Analyzing the chart is the most important thing. Identify strike prices where there is a decent amount of see for OI. It is important to analyze stocks which are actually traded, which are liquid in the option segment as well, because there are quite a few stocks which have been added in the FNO segment which are not so liquid on the FNO side. So first step is you should be sure that the stock that you are trading, swing trading in a stock which is liquid. Then what you do is you open the OI chart, that is the option chart for that particular strike price. So now take the example of suppose Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra is quite a liquid stock. So currently, if you take the price is trading closer towards 1,700 levels. If you see the current juncture, the recent swing high, that is about suppose take about 750 or 1,800 levels. If you open the option chain data, you will clearly see 1,800 strike price having decent amount of call writing. And if you add the average premium, so it will be something 1,800 plus about 15-20 rupees. So you have to anticipate as well. You have to see the trend in the particular stock price. You have to anticipate that if there is a spurt in price action above the levels of 1,820, then there will be short covering which would be seen in that particular strike price. The stock would move towards a fresh lifetime high. The IT stocks are doing good, and that's how you have to build the picture. And if the momentum sustains and the stock witnesses a close above the recent swing high and the major strike price where call writing has taken place, then we would witness short covering in that particular strike price, which could drive the stock further higher on the upside. Likewise, whenever there is heavy put writing which is seen closer towards the current level for any particular strike price, you should take note that even though the price action is slightly on the negative side, the stock could find support at those particular levels, because traders who have done put writing will try to defend that particular level. And unless there is a major breakdown, we could once again witness a rebound on the upside. So that is basically in short how you can make use of the derivative data. So I will not take stock specific questions at the current juncture. I'll just explain first the queries related to today's topic itself, and then if time permits, I'll try to take a few questions. Sir, there is absolutely, it's very difficult to justify the price action for the markets. The only thing that a trader can do is react to the price action. It's extremely a challenging thing to anticipate and tell why correction comes or why there is a rally on a day-to-day basis. There is absolutely sometimes no explanation to it. It is based on the demand and supply for the market at that particular time, based on the type of traders who are trading at that particular time, what is the view of them, what is the major positions that they hold. It's entirely up to the market participants to dictate the price action. But from our perspective, opportunities are always there, and we have to take them based on how the market reacts. So today at the start, definitely the trend was on the bullish side. But once the correction started coming in, you have to be little agile when you're trading in the derivative segment. You should not have a fixed view that it's either one directional bullish or one directional bearish. As the view of the market changes, as the trend changes, we also should be nimble footed and be able to change our positions on a regular basis. Definitely, there is a request why we do not trade in BSE. This particular segment is definitely getting activated, and within the next few trading sessions itself, there is a very good chance that is within the next 1 month, we should see the BSE segment also activated on the derivative side. So, see, there is a question how to access a few of these charts. See, ma'am, there are a few softwares that we make use of, which are paid softwares. The best one, if you want to use free, is Trading View. We have integrated it on the portal as well. SBI also has integrated with Trading View, and even if you want to access Trading View, it's the one of the best free softwares for derivative data. There are few softwares which are free, but few of the softwares which actually provide the derivative data, they have a cost. So I can just explain them. MyFNO is one of them, which provides derivative data to clients. It's a paid software, so some of the softwares or the charts that we have made use of are from the paid softwares that we use as analysts. So there is a question regarding whether we should see the movement of the index weight underlying stocks. See, definitely we should pay weightage, but it is a very challenging thing. See, you can pay weightage. See, now let's take the example. Nifty, if you go to NSE indices, I'll give a very simple explanation. Make use of this particular website, NSE indices. It has, if you go over there, it has of all the indexes, it has a graphical representation of the weightages of all the stocks which are there in a particular index. First it will tell you the weightage of the sector. That is the highest weightage for Nifty currently, if you see, will be the financial sector, which has the highest weightage. That is HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. The financial sector has the highest weightage. And then we have the next highest weightage, which is given to the IT sector. And then we have oil and gas, auto. Oil and gas mainly because of Reliance. So now we have understood which sectors have the highest weightage. The challenge comes is when banking is doing poor and IT is doing really good. That's where the actual challenge comes about, because a clash happens and it is very challenging to process that TCS has a weightage of 11%, but then ICICI Bank and HDFC, which have a similar weightage of 8-9%, they are also witnessing selling pressure. It is good when the markets as a whole is doing good. We know that the frontline stocks which have 80-90% weightage are on the bullish side, or if there are on the bearish side. But if there is a mixed type of price action wherein one major sector is doing good and the other major sector is not doing so good, that is when the actual challenge comes about, when we're tracking the individual stocks. But what I do is I have a list of the top 10 stocks that I keep of the index, the heavyweight stocks. And whenever we are giving a call or a put option, I quickly glance through the individual chart structure of these stocks as well, just to see the overall trend of these particular counters, which definitely gives additional confidence. You cannot tell with 100% certainty, but it definitely gives confidence that if you are giving a put option and the trend of HDFC, ICICI, all and Reliance, these major counters are on the negative side, then you can definitely take a consideration on the put side. So these are all things which give added confidence. There is nothing certain when you're doing technical analysis. It's a game of probability. We should keep an open mind wherein you are trading in terms of probability and we are taking a certain amount of risk. and we are managing that risk through a definitive stop loss. So we have Siddharth Malik. He has been one of the good friends who has attended almost all the sessions that we have had in this particular year. Thank you so much, my friend, for always giving positive support, and always your suggestions are always well taken off. And in the new year as well, we'll be having a lot of sessions in technical and derivative. We have a new colleague also who has joined recently, and we'll be having multiple sessions in technical and derivative going ahead. So 2025 definitely will be taking a lot more different topics than what we have already covered, both in technical and derivative. And we hope to provide as much information to our clients and friends as much as possible. So with that, I would like to end today's session. Thank you so much to all our friends who always take the time out and attend our sessions. Thank you. Thank you so much.